Videogame Bang.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Videogame Bang. Your weekly source for all things video game. Featuring your fearless hosts, Cory Vincent.
I'm pretty much Microsoft and Marvel. Hands are on. People get shot during the day?
And Aaron Carter.
Buy the armor, I equip it, and it's like pink thong. The guy that delivers vending machine items.
Fill up your Mountain Dew and grab your Doritos. It's time for Videogame Bang.
The thirst is absolutely real, everybody. I am Sir Aaron Carter, and you're listening to the Video Game Bang. Hey. Don't adjust your channel just yet. I know you're used to hearing What's Up Pizzas, but it's not happening today. It ain't going down like that today.
You did just say it, though.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Video Game Bang is brought to you by Oblivion Comics and Coffee. Come for the coffee, stay for the comics, everybody. Also, Insane in the Mainframe USA apparel. It's on our backs, hearts, heads, shirts, all that type of stuff, socks. And of course, NRG, who showed some great love last night. Can't thank them so much for the event that they went down. You will hear all about it. But first, let me get to who's on the show, everybody. It's been a while, and I'll explain what's going on, because I know you're like, oh, I don't hear the regular people right now, or I don't see the regular people right now. But don't worry. Don't be afraid. It's going to be okay. You're in the very safe hands of Sir Aaron Carter. On the show, we have Alex Baggs with us, everybody.
That's me.
How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing. I just got a promotion.
What?
Hey.
Wow, the
Yeah.
paper's coming in now, huh?
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about. Love the paper.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
You don't sound too excited for your promotion, though.
No, it's fine. It's just a numbers change.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's really all it is.
In this giant rat race of a
life,
world,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're always somebody's underling.
That's the goal. They got to make the hard decisions. You just do them.
Okay. Word. All right. From Capeless Crusaders, everybody.
Hey.
This guy has been. I've been dying to get this guy on the show. I did his show a while back. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
And I was like, we gotta do the switch off. We gotta do the vice versa, of course.
Yes, sir.
Curtis.
That's me.
Should I say Capeless Crusaders? Crusader? Capeless? That's a hard.
Man,
wow.
it's a tongue twister.
That's a tongue twister.
The Capeless Crusaders.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. The Capeless Crusaders. Very own, everybody.
Yes,
Curtis.
sir. Hey. Glad to be here. Appreciate y'all having me. Yeah, we had to do it again. It was by a stroke of luck.
Special. It was a special evening.
Very special evening.
We're gonna get right into that. Let me
Yes, sir.
let me go. Who's to joining us via satellite, everybody?
Of course.
All the way from the City of Angels.
Yeah.
Beard as thick as ever. And
You're welcome.
And he can't wait to say something. Cory Vincent, everybody. Say hello, Cory.
What's up, pizzas? What's going on, everyone? I'm so glad to be here live via satellite.
You sound like you are via satellite, definitely. That's the wonders of Skype, everybody, if you are wondering.
I mean, technology is a beautiful thing. It allows us to stay connected through these miles and miles that separate us.
Shut up.
And of course,
all right.
everybody, the fifth member that's here week in, week out, they barely get any love, but I love them so much. The chat room people.
chats.
Say hello, chat.
Hello, chat.
I don't have my I feel naked now. I don't have my soundboard with me. Normally on the Saturday shows, I have a soundboard, play a little, thunderous applause whenever I introduce the chat, but we don't have that. Yeah. It's okay though. The chat knows.
The crowd went wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Mama
just couldn't
Cass
hear it.
is in
There
the
we
building.
go.
I haven't seen Mama Cass in a long time, so I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
Hey.
So let's get back this though. So let's wind the clock back. I don't know, 6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months. A little small event at a art gallery or what have you right here in sunny Sacramento, California, was going down. And I was invited by L Boogie, one of our regulars on the show,
L Boogie.
the proprietor of Oblivion Comics and Coffee. And she was like, let's go check out the art. And it's like a video game thing, right? So I was like, cool, I'm down. So we go and we're mingling with the crowd. Out of the corner of my eye, right, I see a setup over there of microphones and cameras. And I'm like, I'm familiar with this. I know this setup.
Right.
Let's
Is
see
this
what
home?
what this is. So I go and sit front row seat and see a spectacular group of people doing a podcast, and they were interviewing one of the I believe the art exhibits right there, like one of the exhibitors.
Yes, yeah, Jarek Kotopitsky. We were interviewing as you guys rolled up on us. Yeah. And
I was like, oh, they're. I have to introduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when great minds, come together.
Indeed.
Exactly.
You can
sparks.
feel it.
You
Yeah.
can feel it.
Yeah.
So I go and, I introduce myself, and they were like, would you like to have a, seat? And I was like, pardon me, like little old me. You'll let me sit down with you guys? And they're like, yeah. So I go into the Sir Aaron Carter. I throw on the glasses. Curtis throws on the glasses with me.
I had to make you feel at home, man.
Had to rock out.
Had to rock out.
I was stunned. I was like, yes, this is comfortable.
Yes.
So, tell us a little about your show. Tell us a little about your show.
Man, Capeless Crusaders podcast, dealing with all things comics, whether it be the video games. We got the comic books themselves, of course, is the basis. Got TV shows and movies. We just cover it all. So we started, I want to say, about 2 years ago, and it was all audio. Just started off as a podcast. Some friends that kind of found out that we all enjoyed comic books, and we worked in the same space. Everybody found out I did audio, so they were like, "Oh, well, let's go ahead and put it together and talk about it."
And that's all it really takes, right?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's what it takes to get started, anyway. And
You'll have a job in podcasting for as long as you want to.
yeah, that's what I've been finding out more and more as we go on. But yeah, man, eventually we just kept doing it, and added some video going on, and people have been enjoying it. So we're slowly growing to the point where we got invited to CrockerCon ourselves and got to meet to Aaron and Laura, excuse me, El Boogie, as we like to call her.
Yeah,
and
get it trending, everybody.
A hashtag El Boogie.
Yeah,
Oblivion Comics and Coffee. And now here we are today.
So, comic books. You guys, your main focus is comic books. Do you guys branch out to like the movies for the comic book and stuff?
Oh,
like
absolutely. That? We cover it all. We went. We just did. Of course, went and saw Logan. So we had a Logan review that is up on YouTube right now that we did. We do. Yeah, we cover the TV shows. I mean, anything regarding comics. And I mean, we are very. We're very open. We're not elitist or you can't talk about that. I mean, literally, our rule is if there's a comic book about it, we could talk about it.
Okay.
We can invite people. So yeah, man, it's nice. And even recently the the episode before the last, we had one of our guys, Anthony Estes, the Azorian one, invited his professor for his TV and film critic professor on, and she came and she was breaking down like Gotham and all the different types of stuff.
Man.
TV shows, even Star Trek and stuff, which has comics and stuff. So we cover it all, man. We
really cool.
We branch out.
I like the deep intellectual conversations about comic books because I feel it's a medium that doesn't get enough respect as being a valid storytelling. They'd be like, oh, it's a comic book.
Right.
Right.
Funny
that's
books.
not Shakespeare.
Right.
It doesn't get the recognition even when it does succeed in one of those things.
Exactly. And I'm like, so that's why I personally take it, offense to it when the medium doesn't cross over to movies.
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely.
Corey, what are you drinking there? You got a little beer in your hand. You're trying to get
Corey,
lit.
He has beer.
On
That's how
a
it goes.
Thursday night. I didn't know the club was going up on a Thursday.
Well, I have my rituals when I go out on these little trips.
Okay.
And so one of them, right when you get into the hotel room, you set up your studio. So I got the full computer, the mobile setup running. And step 2, once all that is done, a quick run to Rite Aid to grab a 6-pack, some waters, some candy, some chips,
Some diabetes.
and then you get to
That's
work.
what it sounds like you're catching out there if you're getting all that. Where's all the fruits and veggies, man?
They don't keep. They just don't keep as well as a 6-pack.
Not enough preservatives, Aaron. Not enough
Exactly.
preservatives.
Is that what that is? Oh,
Yeah.
Well, we need to change that. Yesterday, the VGB was at the Golden One Center.
Yes.
And our very own Corey Matthews got to go center court. Corey, let the people know what you did yesterday. This was a huge monumental event for you. Go ahead.
The whole thing was like so sprung up last minute. So basically what had happened was I was just scheduled to have a standard meeting with Andy Miller, who's one of the owners of Energy, just like a follow-up, see how everything's going. And as soon as I get into the call, he's like, all right, hold on, I'm roping in Dave. So First question: who's Dave?
Yeah.
Why do I care?
Letterman?
I have no idea.
No,
We get into this call, and
Still
apparently
wouldn't care
Dave
about
is
that.
like one of the top producer guys for the Sacramento Kings. Like he's the one who sets up the halftime shows, and he does a bunch of stuff. So we get into this call, and they're like, we want to bring esports to the Kings game on technology night. It's going to happen next Wednesday. What do we do? So we sat in this call for about 45 minutes and came up with an idea of running a small tournament where we'd get 4 qualifiers who'd go do another small tournament at the Golden One Center during the Kings game. And then, oh, by the way, Corey, we want you to do the commentary.
Yeah, just throw that in there the last second. And by the way, you're going to produce the whole thing, Corey. There you go.
Well, essentially, yeah. Like, so I had to get on some calls immediately with Jay Gist from Capital Fight District to help
Awesome
me
guy.
throw a tournament. And so this happens like on a Friday. Before we get all the assets together for the Kings to start actually promoting this thing, it's Monday before the Saturday. And Jay had never thrown one together this quickly. He said that, you're lucky to get, I don't know. He couldn't guarantee me anybody would show up really. But, through social media, through the powers that be, the awesome grassroots community out there for Smash, we actually had a very good tournament.
It was nice, yeah.
Aaron was there.
Nice fleshy tournament.
Fleshy, huh?
Yeah, there was a lot of bodies out there. There was. People showed up.
A lot of bodies or a lot on a bodies?
No, not like that. It was a good turnout. I mean, for a last minute thing, for people to show up like that, it shows that a lot of people do want to come out and get to these tournaments and stuff like that.
No, there's a hunger. Yes.
The thing I'm very surprised about the most with all these tournaments, especially Capital Fight District, he's the man when it comes to this stuff, is to see the contestants and everything like that, and even other people that aren't even in the tournament bring their setups, like their screens and their systems. And, like, to ask that of people just seems out of the realm of comfortability with me. But for them, and they'll come up with their rigs under their arms and just like, yeah, let's do this. I'm like,
yeah. Like, it's how you got to get it going. I mean, you got to bring them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of the scene, too, because the Smash, like I'm part of a Smash crew myself, AMS, Aftermath Squad. And it's just kind of part of the scene. Like, Smash was one of those games that didn't necessarily always have, like, the most reception from the fighting game community. So it was very much all about, like, meeting up in the garage, like, hey, can you bring your setup? Like, can we get 3
Build
other
your
people?
own scene, basically.
Build your own scene. So it's still very strong in the community. So, man, that's good, man. I'm glad y'all had a good turnout like that.
So
it worked out pretty well, and we got a top 4, and the idea was to bring them to the Golden One Center, and again, we just picked everything up, and we did it at like 2 days before. I didn't get any sleep, 0 sleep, just out of just sheer nervousness.
I don't understand that part.
I think that's a Corey special. Right
Okay,
there.
because I'm like, we've been in situations before. We've been we've been to the show sometimes. This is the big show. 4K screen right above your head.
Oh yeah.
100,000 seats. I don't know what it is.
Sure.
I'm using
It's not
hyperbole.
200,000.
I'm using hyperbole.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Half Sacramento.
72 people
Facts
at
don't
least.
matter.
There was at least 72 people
Facts
there.
don't matter. And you're like surrounded, so it's not like there's a wall behind
You
you.
can't just like hide.
And you can't hide anywhere. You're surrounded. You're center court right there, right?
Oh yeah.
And the spotlight, that's the other thing too. Because I don't know. You said you focused in, right? Whenever you were doing the thing.
Yeah.
From the outside, from the stands and everything, there's spotlights. Like, it's on you.
Oh yeah.
Like, so it's dark around. Nobody's looking at each other in the stands. They're down, all eyes on you. And I know some people buckle under that pressure, right?
I'm glad I didn't know that. I'm glad I didn't see it because I would have pissed myself. There's no two ways about it.
But you would have kept the show going through PP pants.
Yeah,
The
I
other,
would have.
the other announcer.
I even talked to Aaron. Like, I really had to go to the bathroom when I was down there. Like, I had to pee bad, and I kind of saved it though. Like, I could have went earlier.
Save the pee.
Yeah, there was
gotta
an
use it.
opportunity.
I'm just
There was
really
an
happy you
opportunity.
didn't just pee out there. I thought the rest of your source I really had to pee, so I just did it. I just peed
That was
right center
that was
court.
my pocket strat. Like, just if all else fails, if the whole thing starts taking a dive and everyone's booing Nairo or something, that was my nightmare. Anyways, I'll just wet myself. And then,
That
That was your out, huh?
wouldn't have
That
gone
was my
over.
out.
Yeah.
feel like that's like a matador
Crisis.
waving the red thing and then getting gored. You're like, oh, jeez, I tried to save it.
I just imagine like
Crisis.
Cory being like Eminem, like like before he freestyles an
Throw
8
it
Mile.
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
That was my out. That was out. If all else fails and things were hit the fan, I had a full bladder just ready to go. Luckily, I didn't have to use it. It went really well. I think even though it was a crowd of normies, they really took to the esports.
I mean, you
think
got a Kings player interested.
Oh yeah, Trilly was
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Like, what's good?
Yeah, he was
It's
looking.
because it's accessible, man.
Yep.
Especially fighting games. I
Absolutely.
mean, we
picked the
talked about it
perfect title.
before. Yeah, and then especially Smash too. It's fun to watch.
It is.
They had all the lights, like I said, were all beaming on you guys down there. The thing I was worried about, and I remember I told you before, I was like, if you just lock up and you don't say anything from sheer, I said, I'm taking one of like the Logitech prizes that we had, and I'm just chucking it at you. Like, say something. Say
Even if it's out.
something.
I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say like it'd be like a mercy killing, like you just like snipe them from the thing.
That something. But he went out there and did his thing. I'm glad that he, like I said, I'm glad that he spoke over the other commentator.
Definitely.
Like, showed that, hey, I got this. Like, the other dude literally knew nothing.
Yeah.
He was like, so they're playing with the Nintendo, which came out in '89. One character is Mario, and the other one, I think, is Robbie the robot, right?
The robot.
That's what he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was one of those, those... I don't know anything about the outside world. I know the Kings tell me,
So-
Right.
so I can commentate.
Right.
So that guy's name is Fresh. He's been like the MC for the Kings for quite a few years now.
Yep.
And back when I used to work for the Sacramento Kings, as a merchandise guy, he worked there as like the dancers, like whipping boy.
Word.
Really?
And,
That's how you got to start,
yeah.
huh?
No, he had a sweet gig. He was actually an intern, and he helped with that. And then he got like promoted to helping the mascot. And then the dude slowly like worked his way like all the way into like the top MC position. So that dude worked his ass off. I have nothing but respect for Scott Fresh, but this was definitely not his element. And he told me that right from the beginning. He's like, I'm gonna be leaning on you for a lot of knowledge on Smash. And I was like, well, honestly, between the two of us, I don't have a huge amount of knowledge in Smash, but I know enough to not sound like an idiot. So that was basically my goal. I wasn't trying to go on there and pretend I knew more than I did, but it was more of just teaching everyone how someone wins. Why is Mario punching Luigi in the face? Like those were the things that we needed to get, and I think we got it across.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It came out. Yeah, it came out wonderful. Like, yeah, I was like, couldn't be happier with that whole, presentation. You kind of actually the only small criticism I was gonna put on there was you were like, Nairo is the Shaq of Smash Brothers at one point, and I was like, no, this is a Sacramento crowd, man. And then you switched it up to Weber and Vladdy and stuff. I was like, okay, yeah, recovery.
which is
Well, you gotta.
which is a part of Super Smash Bros.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
it's
you
a big
go.
deal.
Look at how that all ties in.
I mean, it's a different Sacramento than it was back then, though. I mean, Shaq is an investor, remember?
Yeah, but-
I went to him first because the connection between the Kings and Energy, but then I realized that's a pretty niche
Group of people
you
that
know,
would know that
that would know
there is a
that would-
connection.
Literally, no one else knows that. Yeah.
Have we already forgotten Sacramento? Have we already forgotten? Corey's like, yeah, I did a self lobotomy and cut that out already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Touche. But yeah, no, actually, props to you, Cory, because that was one of the things that as the event was going on and they were down there, A-Bit Rob and Nairo, I was like, oh dang, for as much as Cory said he didn't really know about Smash, I was like, man, he must have downplayed it because you actually handled yourself very well, man, on the announcing. So I want to give you some props to that, my man.
Thanks, dude, and that means a lot because I'm just a fan of Smash in general. Like, I'm a huge fan
regular
of Nairo.
bro. Just trying to.
No, it's true. Like, I don't claim to be what I'm not, but I do watch a lot of Smash.
Word.
But not playing it, I don't have that firsthand knowledge. So I love TK Breezy and EE's commentary.
Oh yeah, the
Like,
Black
those guys are
Plague is.
amazing.
Oh yeah, they're incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. we just had lunch with TK today, and I just soak up as much knowledge as I can from that guy because he's incredible.
Absolutely.
Nairo went down there and did what he does best, and he smashed his opponent. What was it, 7-2?
Oh God,
It was 7-2, 7-3. I mean, he bodied him.
Yeah, it was starting to get a little embarrassing, but the man held down his own.
One guy is like an actual professional player.
Well, the other
right?
dude was ranked, right?
In Cali,
Yeah, the other
state
dude-
rank. Right.
Yeah.
8-bit, he plays with some really good people. Like Nairo knew who he was.
Yeah. I mean, so it wasn't like he was going against a nobody. He was going against somebody.
The thing is, though, Rob versus Zero Suit Samus is like one of the worst matchups you could have.
Definitely.
And
So then both
of them knew that.
I wanted to. Well, then if he knew that, why would you go in there? Like that, you gotta unless that's just all he knew. Like,
Character
that's
loyalty.
All, character loyalty.
That's your main,
yeah.
and that's your main, and that's your main.
Pretty much.
So, sometimes I feel like you don't see that very often, but there are some people like that where it's like, that's just who I play.
Yep.
I deal with bad matchups, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Some versatility would probably be a little bit better if you knew.
That's a
that
classic
this guy-
example of needing a pocket character of some sort.
Well, and it's the first time he's played Nairo or a Zero Suit of that caliber. Who's to say he can't bodied Zero Suits in the past of a lower level or a mediocre level even?
Sure.
And he had said he'd never played Nairo before.
Yeah.
It was like his ultimate test. Now if he plays him again, because they're both here at Civil War, and they're actually in the same pool. 8-bit has to do a lot of work to get through some top players to play him, but if they play again,
It'll be
the
5-2.
odds of him. Yeah, in a 2-stock match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He'll find some way to
No.
get those extra stocks.
That's gonna
If
be
he
tough.
gets there to that level, I mean, I'd advise him. I'd whisper in his ear, maybe don't pick Rob.
Something. Yeah. I mean,
Maybe not.
We had. I mean, Nairo was out on the floor, quote unquote, playing. Other people that were just there, and he was using different characters. Like he wasn't just. I did not see him use Zero Suit Samus while I was up there watching him play against other people.
Well, I mean, like friendlies are different than
Yeah, he went all over the place. He was
an
like
exhibition match in which you got to show off how good
Absolutely.
you are.
Donkey Kong. I saw him use
Everybody.
Link. I played him once or twice. I did very well.
Yeah, I bet.
For a newcomer.
Yeah.
Um,
How many times you win?
it's not there.
Let's not put numbers on it. Yeah.
And
I
here's the
love
other
how
thing.
Aaron, when he plays against someone who he knows he's going to lose against, sets a small personal goal, and that's all he attains for.
Oh, yeah.
So when he was playing Nairo, before the match even started, he's like, I'm not going to win, but I'm going to get 50% on you.
Yeah, because that's a win to me.
Achievable goals.
Exactly.
Achievable goals. Baby
and
steps,
I did.
baby steps.
I
Yeah.
did both times. And then when I found out that the screen we were playing on had a little lag on there, I was like, you know what? That was the problem right there.
That lag. Though.
Yeah, that little lag. And
Yeah.
he even confirmed it himself. He's like, yeah, there was lag on that. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah, see?
I'm glad that you agree that,
You had that knowing look against each other. Like, yeah, we know this is all BS.
Yeah, so it didn't even really count,
Definitely. But at the same time, Nairo is one of those players that is known to be able to switch to different characters, and sometimes he is known to play the matchup game. So he has a few characters that he can pull. Like he's got a pit and a dark pit that he could pull out. I've seen him go Donkey Kong before, and then that's the other thing too. Like there tends to be trends with characters around like the nation. Like every region kind of has their trends. There's not a lot of Zero Suits in Northern California to play against, so that kind of plays into it as well. Like Zero Suit's a character that has very small hitbox, very agile, and can get around. Rob's got some kind of tricky moves with the distance stuff that he throws out, but he has a larger hitbox and isn't as quick. So it is a really tough matchup, but no, man, all things considered, I mean, everybody kind of knew what it was going to be, but,
right?
I was like, hey, if 8-bit Rob doesn't die on the court and he walks off, you know what? Solidarity,
you gotta
bro.
set those goals.
You got to set the goals, man.
Goals.
Got to set those goals.
How's it going down there at Civil War right now?
It's a pretty light day. I mean, we hopped on the plane at around 9, got here at around 10:30, 11, and we kind of just got to the hotel, went to the venue, which is incredible, esports arena down here in Santa Ana, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just an esports arena where there's tons of events.
Who would have thought
Blizzard.
that it's an esports arena?
I thought it was a hot dog stand.
I thought it. You know what? Me too.
Yeah,
I
esports
really
arena.
thought it was gonna be a hot dog
Craziness.
stand.
Shut up, Bags.
See, the beauty of the internet is I control you from here while you're down there.
and it
That's
hurts
the
the
real
same.
beauty. Yeah. Oh, I know.
hurts the exact same amount. So we just went and did press registration. Got to hang out with some of the players. Do a little bit of glad handing, get ready. Actually, I think I got my badge right here. They're full tilt right here into the Team Zero versus Team Ally, like even down to the press badge. And she tried to hand me a Team Ally press badge.
Oh.
And I had to shame the lady. I was like, "Do you know who I'm with? Do you know what would happen if I got seen with photos of me in a Team Ally?
Oh, they'd
that's
blast
my job."
Yeah, they blasted all over the internet.
Yeah.
I
can't.
I spoke to Nairo a little bit about it because he was explaining to me the whole thing, like the Civil War and what was going on and how it was all hyped up and how it began just kind of with the two and just kind of talking back and forth, trash talking, and then they had groups, I guess, and I'm like, I've never heard of anything like that, like to spawn an actual like Civil War, with more people than the actual Civil War movie had, like, on either side. And so I was like, that sounds like are we moving in gang territory with the esports here, Corey? Is that what we're doing?
Well,
I was talking to Champ today, who kind of runs the 2GG, and he sees this as a big culmination. Like, he's calling it the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new. So this is where the Civil War is going to end. Like, all this that you were talking about, the build up, the cruise, is all supposed to be over now after this one final battle, and it's going to happen in a crew battle. Let me see when that is.
Is that a 4-on-4? Or are you going to do the full blast? Top 4 of one crew versus the other top 4 of the other crew? Do an 8-man smash? That'd be crazy.
No, not at the same time.
That'd be crazy.
Curtis could probably explain the rules better of a crew battle than I can, so I'll let him go for it. But it's one of the more fascinating game types.
So they each bring out cardboard and they lay it on the floor.
and they bring out the boombox.
Yeah.
There you go. You got to hit your up rock. You know what I mean?
D batteries
D
everywhere.
batteries. That's taking it way back. No, crew battles is actually something that kind of has been around for a while in Smash. Like I said, I'm a part of a crew, another person part of a crew. As you become a top player, you get your sponsors, and then that ends up being like your crew. But if you don't have no sponsor, you just get with your homeboys. Okay, we're AMS. Okay, we're XYZ, whatever. So what would happen is when people were putting their tournaments together, like whoever was in your neighborhood was in your crew, you'd take your crew and then you'd battle. Like they do, like, okay, let's do it for our state. So people would come from this part of New York, other people come from that part of New York, and then when they get together, they would do the normal. You do your pulls, you do your singles, and they'd even do doubles. But then if there was time left, they'd be like, okay, let's do a crew battle. And usually how you do in a crew battle is you set a certain amount of stocks, like for the entire crew. And and you start off with the first 2 people as you go. Like, let's say someone 2-stocked, the first person, so they still got their 2 stocks, and the other person got beat. They didn't get a stock off of them. Then the next person steps up. They start off with 2 stocks. If they knock a stock off of this guy, but he still beats him, the next game he starts off with 1 stock, and then the person who fills in their spot starts off with their 2. He knocks him off. Okay, that's over. Then the person comes and fills that. So that's kind of how the crew battles go. This is pretty like historical because I've never seen it where it's like it's not I have seen where it's been regions. Like I think most recently we did like a USA versus like Japan, and that was like a really dope match.
Who won that one?
To be honest, probably.
What was Nairo at?
Japan won. No, there was actually some controversy that kind of fueled the fire here because Ally was one of the first guys that went up, and he did really well. But the rest of Team America, which included, even Zero, and like they did pretty bad. And when it came to Nairo's turn, who was towards the end, he went Bowser instead of Zero Suit. And Ally got pissed and started like flaming him on Twitter, saying that you disrespected Japan by not going with your best and giving all you have. And Japan, and not Japan, but Nairo was like, hey, I just, won Tokaigi, which is Japan's one of their biggest tournaments of the year.
Yeah,
and he has nothing but respect for the Japanese culture and those players. Like he went to their home and played them, and 5 times in the last
Went
2
to
or
their
3
home
years.
and shit on their doorstep.
and it turned into a big thing. It was pretty crazy. I mean, I even got involved on the NRG social media account, and so there was words, and Nairo got on video with some of the Japanese players and asked them, "Were you offended?" And they're like, "No, we kind of expected you to go Bowser, just due to the matchups." So it's just another one of those things. The crew battles form more rivalries, and hopefully at the end of this one, Civil War here on Sunday, which I think is when that big crew battle is going to happen after everything else. It'll all be done and we can move forward. But it's going to be hype.
Move forward. So speaking more with Nairo while we're yesterday at the arena, he said the bragging rights alone at the end of this is like that's forever. Like there's nothing else. Yeah. After this, it's like you can't come back with anything. It's like I slept with your mother.
Ever?
It's like I slept with your mother.
Ever though?
Yeah, because it's like for these two crews at least.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right.
You can't be like, oh, I just beat you in this tournament. A year later, be like, oh, but did you win Civil War? No, you didn't. Oh, okay, I was just making sure we won, right? Okay, just making.
These guys have a long memory, like, and if they forget. They have fans and
the
Twitch
internet
followers who will not let them forget.
So I'm assuming this is going to be on record, like it's going to be recorded somewhere, right? Like Twitch or something is going to stream this.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the world is going to be watching this one, and
absolutely,
definitely, I will be in my own corner. Because I don't know the other two. I didn't even know backstories. I don't know
I know literally nothing about what's going on.
Me neither. Yeah, I just know it's two crews fighting, and I like the idea of that, having a crew. It does sound like gangs.
And, no. It's a crew.
It's a crew.
Oh, it's a crew?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a crew. It's not a gang.
Yeah.
They're gangs.
No.
But it's a positive thing in the esports, community, I feel. It builds rivalry.
Yeah. And like this year more than ever, like 2G is like murdering it, especially with this event and basically all of their events. They announced the 2G Championship series, which is like kind of like the Capcom Cup. I don't know if you follow that one, Aaron. But if you win
man.
I don't think he does.
No.
But if you win one of the majors, you automatically qualify for a huge, like the end of the year, the Super Bowl of that game.
Okay.
Where it's got the biggest prize money.
Yep.
And the whole season or year, however you want to call it, you're going to these events, and if you don't win, you're gaining points.
Yeah.
So you either
points.
you either get enough points to qualify, or you win one of these majors and automatically lock your spot. I think this may be the second, maybe third. So there's that going on. That storyline's in the background as well. So there's a lot going on in the Smash world. That's why it was important. I'm here. Andrew Baker, who's also with Energy, is here. Like we really wanted to go all out on the coverage of this event just because we feel it's so significant to the Smash community, not just for now, but going into the future.
Definitely.
Well, hopefully Nairo comes out on top. I feel like I have personal stock in his career now after speaking with him yesterday and showing him a couple of moves yesterday as well.
Where's Nintendo on all of this?
Yeah.
Didn't they just stop making the Wii U?
They did stop making the Wii U, yes.
Why? So what the hell are they doing? Like, do they understand the community that's out there? I mean, obviously they don't understand the community.
No, they don't.
Why don't they understand the community?
I don't think they've embraced it just yet. Like, I mean, maybe they will with this next console, with the Switch and everything like that, because they're trying to hit that esports.
Like Splatoon and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I think they missed the ball with the Wii U on part that it was a, failure. And they couldn't really.
Yeah, it wasn't a success.
It goes back and forth. Like Nintendo, it's so strange. It's like a weird tango with Nintendo. Especially in the Melee days, they wanted nothing to do with it at all, and they were basically trying to shut it down. I think even when Brawl happened, it was kind of weird at first. There was a bit of a struggle. They're like, are we going to support this or not? And then.
Well, then the designer of Brawl even was like, "Oh, I never made this for competitive play."
Right? Yeah.
Are you a moron? Do you not know what happens with this game out in the wild?
Right.
What's wrong with you?
It's really odd. And then so through that, and then there was this thing with Melee took forever for Brawl to come out for there to be an update, but that was fine because the meta advanced and people started to understand. Learned more tech, things happened, and then Brawl came out and. Kind of people migrated over. It was very different. So even the Smash community was a little mixed on how they felt with it because it was much slower. Yeah. And then it was a while. Some of the things that they wanted fixed to make it more like Melee, they had to do themselves. So there's some developers that made up like a thing called Project M.
Project M,
Where
I remember that.
Yeah, it was like a mod for Brawl to kind of make it more like Melee, and Nintendo really didn't like that and came in and put the hammer down.
They put a hammer down on a lot of things. What was the other one? The Pokemon indie game that came out.
Pokemon Uranium?
Yeah.
Uranium.
Yeah.
Yes. And they smashed that down pretty quick.
They
too,
also
no pun
sued that
intended.
dude for using some Pokemon in he was using it to advertise a meetup at one of the PAX conventions. And they sued him for infringing copyright.
Wow.
And he wasn't making money off of that, mind you.
Right.
And then he would talk to him and they never dropped it. So he's just
Damn.
boned.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
Nintendo dumb.
Has there
so
ever
dumb.
been a popular fighting game that you can think of where the developers didn't, and a popular fighting game where the developers were like, we're just not going to support this as an esports type of deal. Like we're not going to try to balance characters out for it. It just seems like Smash Brothers is the only one that has done that.
Yeah,
like
pretty
any
much.
other fighting game, if it gets popular enough,
Yeah.
then they'll
They
shift
want to
that
cash
way.
in on it because
Yeah,
that's what
right.
you
There's
should
so-
do, right?
There's so many fighting games right now that are struggling and pouring hundreds of thousands of dollars into their game to make it as successful as Smash's
Right.
grassroots scene is. So
Right.
thinking about other ones out there that aren't supporting it, it's kind of crazy. I don't think there are any. In fact, they're doing quite the opposite. They're throwing a bunch of money trying to be like Smash, and then
Right.
Nintendo
But, I mean,
comes
that-
out with a commercial for Switch, and then they're like, let's feature Splatoon.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, like oh yeah, no, let's totally ignore the whole community that buys so many consoles.
The
to
biggest that has to be the biggest Nintendo tournament game ever. I mean, I feel like that's a lot to say.
I can't think of another one.
What else?
Yeah, I can't.
Like I can think of Mario Kart, maybe.
that would be the second, if anything.
Right.
But
No,
Nintendo.
no. Mario Tennis.
You're
Oh,
absolutely
Mario,
right.
yeah,
Mario
sorry.
Tennis.
No, it was probably Mario 3v3 basketball on the DS. But
Oh
we're
dang,
all.
let's take it away.
We're
back.
all wrong.
But I think the Switch will do it. Whenever the Smash Brothers that comes out on the Switch,
has to.
they're gonna have the Pro controller behind it first of all, which feels great.
Yep.
So you won't have to do the GameCube
So
thing
you
anymore.
got hardware already figured
You
out.
got
right?
hardware already figured out. You got your advertising already saying, "Hey, we want to be esports."
Esports
You know,
teams practicing stuff like that.
You have a community already drooling for something.
And see, that's the thing that like other new fighting games don't have.
Right.
Is because like the grassroots made it so resilient. Mm-hmm. I think it's true
Yes.
of like Street Fighter and stuff like that too, where they've been running tournaments for years.
yeah.
It's not new. It's not crazy out of control.
No. I mean, but even that, see, that's like with Street Fighter, at least it started in the arcade.
Right.
Like Smash didn't
it's
have
true.
that.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like that's what got me into Street Fighter. My dad, I was in San Jose with my dad one time. He took me to QZar, and they had
Wow.
this, yeah,
I
that
can't
Yep.
believe
Throw
you just
that
said
one
Qzar.
back.
yeah.
QZar.
Can I even Google that anymore?
Nah, no
Lord.
Googles on
How
that one.
dead
Ask
is
Jeeves for
QZar?
that
Yeah.
one, you know. But no, we went there, and I remember I had played it a little bit, and I saw a dude like move his finger super quick, and the screen turned to a silhouette, and I was like, "Whoa! Like who's that? Like that's kind of like Noob Saibot, like the Shadow dude." And it was Akuma. You know, or Akuma, however you want to say it. And I was like, whoa. And ever since then, I was stuck on Street Fighter. And that's what got me into fighting games. Smash came later.
Right.
You know, I mean, you know, we'll talk about that later. But no, it's just like, at least it started in the arcade. Smash was literally, the tournament started in a garage.
It's some
and we're
dude's garage.
still here.
Right.
So for Nintendo, and I still love Nintendo. I bought a new 3DS today just so I can play more Smash because UPS lost my other ones. But
Wow.
yeah, we won't talk about that. But like, I mean, like,
I got a case out against them.
I got to do that claim. But literally, like when the Switch came out, I was like, okay, you got to talk about Smash. Like you don't have to say it's coming out immediately, but this is literally what sells tons of consoles for all these tournaments that all these people put on, let alone the individuals that want to buy, you know, the console. And they literally didn't even mention it when they did the little keynote for the Switch. And I was like, these people are crazy. I don't get it. It literally took, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I didn't even hear about it. My buddy at work finally said, he asked me, are you going to get a Switch? I said, no, they didn't say anything about, I at least want a port. Port Smash 4.
Port.
You got to remember, we don't get a lot as a
You're already
Smash
getting
community. Like,
I
we're
understand.
not, you know?
I understand, but
Like
I mean, you're getting a port basically of Mario Kart. I don't care what you guys saw. If they add, you sprinkle sugar on top of a cake, it's still a cake.
Yeah, no, sure. Well, also keep in mind, at least I say with Smash 4, they continuously put out updates to balance the game. People were getting nerfs and buffs, and literally one of the ones I think came out like maybe 9 months ago. So if you think that there's still a melee scene. And how long ago did freaking Melee come out?
Right.
And they're still like, oh, we're kind of understanding the meta now. They're still learning new tech from other characters. So for us, this is like big, like that they even did all these updates.
That they're even updating.
Yeah. So for ask Nairo, be like, oh, do you want a new one? He'd probably say yeah, but at the same time, he's like, we're kind of just balancing out this one. So if they could just port it, that would be dope. But if they gave us a new one, I'd be open for it.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. One of the things I was talking to him about too, or it's kind of a joke with Tokaigi because that's the big Japanese one where the actual the creator actually shows up to that event, and it's kind of been a historic thing because every time he's there, the character that wins always gets a nasty
nerf.
Yep.
I mean, that's how it is in everything, right?
Has anyone bought him a Nerf bat yet? So they can hand it to him. Like, all right, we know where this is going.
When Nairo won it, like. I got so many tweets and ats and DMs about RIP Zero Suit Samus.
But
that hasn't happened yet. But that's just kind of like they are actually maintaining it now, which is it's a good sign.
That's something, right? Like they understand the game is alive.
You got to realize Nintendo is slow. They were slow with their online development. You got to think about that. They're slow to catch up with graphics.
They didn't believe in the internet.
Yeah,
so they have a lot of fundamental wrong answers.
Yeah,
they don't believe in the internet.
Right.
They have friend codes for everything. I mean, they've gotten better with that, and they don't support the game that funds all of their there's so many just fundamentally do you not know what happens outside your walls that you work in?
But you know what? I think part of the reason for that, is not that I excuse it. I want what everybody else in the Smash community and the game community who deals with Nintendo wants. But I think if you kind of peel behind the veil, look at where they start. They've been around longer than everybody. They started literally as a card game company.
Yep. It's true.
So and then you think about
it
still are. Yeah. I mean, shoot,
old thought process.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like their disadvantage is that they kind of sometimes don't want to let go of the handle to try to go ahead and swim to the deep end. They just want to stay dipping their toes, and they're like, well, we've got so much trillions of dollars off of this, and Pokemon's still selling, so it makes it tough for everything else, on their consoles.
Well, here's the question: do they give that type of love to Pokemon? Because I know Pokemon has
its own company now, though. It's the Pokemon company.
It's spawned off and just
it got spun off.
Okay,
so maybe you remember when Pokemon Go came out? Nintendo's stock skyrocketed.
Yes,
and then after everyone realized, Nintendo didn't actually make this. It plummeted again, back down to where it should have been.
Right.
Wow.
Because people you make that association of Pokemon and Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
But it's not always fair.
Right.
Which probably is better for Pokemon in the long run because they can kind of decouple from. The ancient halls of Nintendo.
It does feel like it's a whole bunch of just old guys that doesn't, that don't want to come to the future.
Yeah,
basically. But I think I say there's going to be a brighter future for them when it comes to esports with this Switch because they in chat room they've said Reggie already mentioned Smash is going to be on the Switch.
He finally did a few weeks ago. No
time though.
Which is okay. Make it right. Don't make it
that's
fast.
True. Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Well, yes, for every game. Yes.
Yeah.
Mass Effect Andromeda. They are.
What are you talking about? That game is fantastic.
I haven't even installed it yet, but I do want to.
My coworker's been playing multiplayer, and he says that the multiplayer is really good.
Oh, thank you. That's
he's like, I actually don't even know if I'm going to play single player.
Okay. I'm going to do it all.
Man, you're going to do them all, though. All the people, you're going to bang them all.
Terrible. We've spent a good 45 minutes on
Super Smash Bros.
Super Smash Brothers and the event that happened yesterday. There's things other than that going on in the world,
PB's
though.
face in your eyes.
Who?
PB from
Is
Mass
that
Effect Andromeda.
No,
I see you looking at an article, and it's your stupid fucking face.
It came up. There's a lot that's going on. Like I said, I bought the game last week, Mass Effect Andromeda. It's still sitting on the desk though. I just haven't. I don't know. It's partial fear and partial, because I don't want them to be right.
Say it ain't so.
Well, because this year. First of all, there's a lot of things that's coming out. You're supposed to be hyped about.
Okay.
There was Iron Fist.
Right.
Hey, I mean, it's Marvel, and they've been knocking them out the park basically. At least
they haven't.
inside home runs.
There's a
inside home
decline.
runs.
There's been a decline.
Well, that's because
I mean, part of that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but
the
there
numbers.
has been a decline.
Yeah,
like
there has been.
You can't be like, this is going to be another Daredevil.
Yeah.
Season 1.
No, I never felt that, only because it's Iron Fist, and I don't care about Iron Fist. Like, all right, dude.
But you could be made to care if it's done correctly.
Right, because who cared about Doctor Strange?
I cared about Doctor Strange. You know why? Because I saw it as Doctor Strange actually was another part of the comic book universe that didn't get represented, and now you're gonna we suspended belief that a man can build a suit and fight crime.
Tony Stark built us in a cave.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You suspended belief that there's these Guardians of the Galaxy out there, right? They got the space, they got the tech,
Right.
but the magic was lacking. Thor is supposed to kind of be it, but it's not. It's not.
That's different magic.
Yeah, right. So
Norse
when
magic.
I was ready for Doctor Strange, I still haven't seen it yet, but I was ready for that to be introduced. Because
So were you ready for it, or will you be ready for it once you see it?
I will be ready for it
Okay.
when I see it.
I haven't seen it either.
Because I'm like, now with that in there, now the viewer's like, okay, magic exists in this world.
Because it is extremely important in the Marvel universe
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
It's not.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get rid of magic in there.
And then when Black Panther comes out, then you have
man.
your moviegoers like, okay, black people exist in this world.
Hey, we've had War Machine.
We're good.
And Falcon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're
To
not
be fair,
T'Challa, but
I love War Machine. He's
Oh, yeah.
he's my favorite.
Yeah,
You didn't
Rhodey's
read
dope.
Civil War 2, did you?
No, not Civil War.
Shoot, I got
Okay,
I got a comic book podcast and I didn't even read Civil War.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No,
Well, I mean,
that was
that's
on
all good.
purpose. But we'll talk about.
Oh,
that
no,
later.
trust me. Yeah. Civil War 2, we talked about it on the show before. That
Yeah.
was a lackluster performance by Marvel or whoever wrote that.
Dribble War too.
Yeah,
Dribble War
I
too.
couldn't
Who
deal with that.
who wrote it? It wasn't the same people then, right?
I have no idea. It
That'd be really interesting to
Felt
see
way
who-
too forced, though.
Yeah.
Well,
felt
it probably was.
Way too forced.
Yeah,
Like,
it
we
was
need to do
really
something
forced.
gimmicky, and here it is.
Absolutely.
But again, circling it back, Mass Effect was one of the things that you're supposed to get excited for. Game of the Year runner up.
Right.
Because Breath of the Wild looks like it might be the winner. I'm still not giving up.
I feel like there's almost no way it's gonna lose Game of the Year.
You never know.
I just by
Could
I
be
mean
Overwatch again.
please don't ever do that again.
Could be Overwatch one more time.
No, that's unnecessary.
I'm just saying. They got a new update and could refresh the game again. So but yeah. And so after my enthusiasm for Iron Fist kind of dropped because I watched the first 5 episodes. I'm looking at Mass Effect on my table and I'm like, are you gonna
hurt me
Yeah,
too?
are you gonna hurt me? Is this what this year's gonna be? Okay, I see. So I took off shrink wrap yesterday.
Hey, that's
That's
So
that's
Yeah.
small victories, man.
Yeah,
Small
small
victories.
victories.
Yeah.
Here's some good news though for you, Corey.
Oh, I know what you're about to say.
Do you know what I'm about to say?
I already know, and I'm ready. My body is ready.
UK.
I just want to hear you say it.
What?
I just want to hear you say it.
Now I don't
Please
even
just say
know.
it. And when you say it nice and slow.
I love you.
UK retailer may have leaked a release date for Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's not what I was going
Yeah,
for. though.
exactly. Yeah, there you go. There you go. A retailer in UK called Base, because they sell video games and drugs, potentially leaked the release date for
Free
Red Dead
Base.
Redemption 2 before the official announcement. The product listing on the game's website says September 26, 2017.
What year did I say the game was coming out?
I still stand by my it's coming out 2018.
If they printed posters for it and there's media that they're sending out to the retailers, it's
That's
a lock.
not
This is-
true. That's
First of all,
not true
yeah,
at all.
that's
Where
definitely
did you
not
work?
This is
Yes, exactly.
yeah, but this isn't Ubisoft.
No,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You
This
know
is
they,
Rockstar
You know they
Games.
make championship hats for both teams that play in the final, right?
Is that what ends up? The losers always end up at like Salvation Army,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. Or they burn them real fast before they take out the winner's hat. Yeah. So they do these things. Yeah. I don't know. This game,
It's coming out.
Okay?
I can see end of year.
Game of the year.
I can see beginning of the year.
Wow.
I can
I'm
also see
making
beginning
my
of
bold
next year.
prediction
Yeah.
right now because as
Well-
awesome as Zelda is, it's gonna lose steam by the end of the year. Maybe. I mean, actually, I don't know.
What about
because
their
this might be
aggressive
the-
DLC schedule?
Their aggressive DLC schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, and come to think of it, like the way they're gonna trickle out consoles, it won't be until Christmas till everybody has their
Gets
hands
one
on it anyways.
Right.
So it'll be brand new to people all throughout the year.
I guess that's
so.
true.
Maybe it could be Zelda, but if not, it's gonna be a close runner-up. It's Red Dead. Definitely not Mass Effect.
Well, what's the release schedule horizon look like in the end of this year?
You got Days Gone, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3.
I know one of those
Destiny
games.
2?
I know 2 of those games.
Did
don't
you
know-
see that? Is that a story on the list, Aaron?
That's definitely not a story.
No,
on the
because
list.
no one plays that game.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys didn't see that, I thought this is where
Did
you
you
were
play that
going.
game? Corey,
Of course I did.
are you playing that game?
Of course I used to.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. All
There you
right.
go.
Cool.
Are you talking about the leaked poster?
The leaked poster.
Okay, because I just Googled that and I'm already sick of it.
I'm already mad at it.
Yeah. And as let's draw it back because Curtis is new here and he hasn't probably heard the whole story arc of Destiny. Have you played Destiny, Curtis?
No, I pretty much stick to like Nintendo.
You're a good man. So Destiny came out with high hopes and promises to its fans, saying that 10 years you would be playing this game. For 10 years, we were going to support it. You are going to have the time of your life. We have a rich, deep story because we made Halo, and
Was that before or after they completely butchered the story in the 11th
that was
hour?
before.
It was before?
That was
Okay.
before the 11th hour. Yes,
The 11th hour, they completely fucked everything.
They had a thick document of story, and the 11th hour, somebody dropped it in kerosene and caught it on fire.
No. It fell into like a shredder, and they had to like piece it all together. But
Oh,
they pieced
yeah.
it together wrong.
Yeah, and then somewhere along the line, what's the little guy from Game of Thrones?
Tyrion Lannister.
Tyrion
I was gonna say
Lannister
that,
walked
not-
Peter
away.
Dinklage.
Yeah,
Dinklage.
he walked away from the project, and
Then they redid his voice,
they.
right?
No, I don't think they tried
Did
to
they?
imitate. They just got
They
somebody
did.
new. I thought they just
No,
got somebody
yeah.
new.
Not to imitate him, they completely changed the voice.
Yeah, they just completely.
Yeah, they changed.
Oh, so he's just gone all together
did they
now.
re-record all the old lines? Is my question.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
I believe they did.
I
you
thought
serious?
they did. I thought they re-recorded it and just took him out because he
Yeah.
didn't deliver.
So clearly, Bungie's name is Brutus, and everybody is Caesar
A2 Brutus?
because they stabbed everybody in the back when this game came out. And now, with the release of Destiny 2, which is apparently, according
how many
to
years
this
has this
leak,
game been out? By the way,
Corey,
Destiny 1.
Corey, you want to take that?
When did it come out?
Let's find out.
I don't know. Long enough.
What do you mean long enough?
like 10 years though.
Like 10 years long enough? No.
I
No.
mean, look at the list of games who survived
2014.
10 years.
Oh, okay,
every,
so
every game
3.
that comes out thinks they're going to
Wow.
be the next 10-year
Less than
game.
half.
Wait a minute.
Destiny made a bold prediction. It wasn't. List the games that have lasted 10 years.
That's not a
And-
prediction,
World of
though.
Warcraft.
That's something Melee.
See?
Smash
There's one.
Brothers Melee. The most unsupported game by the developer.
Here we go. Yeah, but look at keep going. What else? 10-year games.
10-year games.
CS?
Ocarina
Can we
of
count that
Time.
one?
Yeah, CS.
Yeah, I
go.
counted it,
Yeah.
definitely.
League of Legends. Dota. Are we going
Oh,
with?
fucking Dota.
So
Dota
all
was a
these games
map
we
in a
noticed,
game.
Every game we named here are titans. They're major, huge titles.
Okay.
Destiny shot for the sky and they missed. And that's
But look at their
okay.
fathers.
We all fail.
Look at
It's
their
not about
look at
how
their
many
parents.
times you fall,
And
Aaron. It's how many times
they're
you
still
get back
releasing
up.
Halo games too, aren't they?
I believe they are.
So they walked away from a very successful franchise
Yes.
to make a new thing, fucked it up directly before launch, then launched it, and now they're releasing the sequel 3 years later.
So the,
You know who did make a 10-year promise? Sony. They said the PlayStation 3 was going to be a 10-year system.
Right.
It was, and they're just now stopping production of PS3 systems.
there it is.
That's a real promise. Sony, you can bet on that.
That sounds like he was talking directly to the Bungie.
I know. I was gonna say.
That sounds like a
who's,
real promise.
Who's putting money in Bag's pockets over there?
He said he got a promotion.
I got a promotion.
So Curtis, to catch you up on it, they said it was going to be a 10-year project type of thing. You're supposed to play this game for 10 years.
Okay.
Less than 10 years. Less than 5 years.
Yeah.
Less than 5 years.
Yes, less than 5 years. They're already going to release part 2 of this. And this is, I haven't even touched the debacle of the actual game. The game comes out less than what it, was expected to be.
Right.
With features, with DLC. Like, the game was just, I don't know. The game felt like an early stage MMO, definitely.
It's like the same thing that happened with like Diablo 3. Is like your major design decisions turned out wrong. So let's fix that in our first DLC, our major patches. Let's kind of redo that so we get 2.0, version 2.0 out there.
Right.
Still the same game, but it's, fixed.
Yeah.
So if you were to play the game in its, as it is now, you would probably be like, this is it's a good game. What's everybody talking about?
Right.
But you weren't the early
adopter.
Yeah, early
right.
adopter.
Right.
So it's like these guys had to go through that grind beforehand,
Right.
and it just felt like. And then there was an article we talked about on the show one time where it was like the DLC that you pay for now will pay for the free DLC in the future. So I'm like, I'm paying for the free stuff that people are going to get later. Is that what I'm hearing?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're going to get it too.
Yeah, but what if I decide to stop playing?
Right.
Or what if
Well, you
you
made
started
that
to play later on and you didn't pay for that other stuff?
That's fine.
Yeah, that's just
how it goes.
that's
the
shady
difference.
stuff.
No, that's the difference between early adopter and people later. That you can't really fix if you plan to release free content at all. If you have a choice to release free content, if you're an early adopter, you're not going to have that content.
Why
period.
not from the beginning though?
Because
Like I even
you
feel
can't- you
I even
can't-
feel betrayed by those pay per month MMOs that go free to play. Like
Well,
your
you
loyalists
you actually get a lot of rewards for a lot of them.
from the small games that I've seen. It's like not that much of a difference. It's like, okay, this person, yeah, you paid $15 a month for a little bit, but it doesn't make you different from me. Like
Aaron-
what, you got a scarf?
Aaron, do you mind? I mean, I'm not going to defend the Bungie and Destiny's past transgressions.
You already are.
But what I can do is remind you of the value of second chances.
Oh my god.
And I want to take this back to the Bible, Aaron.
Okay.
Oh,
All
Do you
right.
remember a little woman named Rahab?
No,
Aaron, from the Bible?
I
I don't
don't.
know who that is.
I'm
Going back to
sorry.
Sunday school
I
real
don't.
quick.
All right. I'll preach it to you. She was a prostitute, Aaron.
That's good
Even
for her.
3,000 years ago, that was not considered an honorable profession.
Did she make good
And
money?
it made matters.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
She made great money. She
did
was
it right
a
next to the
genital.
temple.
A genital. She was a
genital.
genital.
Wait, excuse me?
Who lived in the city? She was a genital who lived in the city of Jericho
Gentile.
Okay.
and the land of Canaan. And at the time when the nation
Like
of
the board
Israel was
game?
about to conquer
Yes.
the land, this genital woman of ill reputation
Good lord.
had heard about the God of Israel
Good lord.
and his greatness. So when spies of Israel showed up to her house,
Do you have the Bible
let-
right in front of you in the hotel? Is that what you're doing?
He is in a hotel.
Yeah, they always keep him in
I-
the drawer next to the bed.
yeah.
That's okay.
But to hammer it all home, second
Yes,
chances
please
are
do. Yeah, no, it's not a second chance. No, I can't give it a second chance.
Yes, you could. You
no,
could.
I
You
can't.
could. You
No,
actually could.
because I never gave it a first one. So, thank you for listening, everybody. This has been the Video Game Bang, and I'm glad you joined us today, everybody. We're going to be here, of course, Saturday again, and we're going to do an indie game. Are we going to do that? Yeah, we'll hash that out or so. Because we play off the fly. We work off the fly. We don't
Seat
always
of the
know
pants.
this. Curtis, go ahead and tell the people where you can find all your beautiful work.
Absolutely. Definitely check out the CapelessCrusaders.com. It's got links to the social media as well as the YouTube channel for the show. I myself, you can find me at Calm Down Warning and at Existential Romeo on Instagram. And come out to Empire's Comics sometimes to do a live show once a month. We got to get you guys down there too. Get you guys on the podcast again.
Oh man, yeah,
Good times,
Yeah,
man.
I
Good
haven't
times.
done. Were we live the last time?
We not on video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta get to the live show. Corey, go ahead and plug your stuff.
You can find me on Twitter at What's Up Pizzas. As you can see, and this is a story we didn't even cover, you can now change your Twitch handle. So I just did that. My new Twitch is What's Up Pizzas.
Wow.
So you can give me a like and a share and all that stuff. And of course, Energy Esports on Twitter at EnergyGG. And I'll be out here at Civil War all weekend, tweeting it up, Snapchatting it up, doing all the tweets, hanging out with Nairo, and having a lot of fun.
Go show him some magic tricks while you guys are down there, everybody. He loves that
And
stuff.
yeah, no, please don't do that. But remember, Destiny 2, when you think of Destiny 2, I want you all to think about Rahab.
Yeah, let's
The
not
story.
do that.
That sounds like rehab.
Yeah, it's definitely
which
not.
might be what Destiny is going through right
Hopefully.
I want you to think about Rahab and the genitals.
No, let's not think
And
That was
all
actually the
the-
name of my punk band in high school.
now.
Rahab's genitals.
Rahab and the genitals.
Yeah, we might suck the first time, but give us a second chance. Don't forget to go to iTunes. Of course, we're over there. Everybody, give us that 5-star rating because I believe we deserve it. I know you think we deserve it. For Alex, Curtis, and Corey, I am Sir Aaron Carter saying, you just been banged, right?
You just been
That's
banged.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, just been banged.
AMS Squad.
And stop.
And
Thank you.
stop.
Chat, sorry I didn't get to you guys that much. They were really popping off in there for a little bit.
As you can see, I moved the camera a little bit. Now you can see my my roommate here for the weekend.
Uh-oh. It's, no, I can't see your roommate. I just saw a hand.
It's Andrew Baker. He's like the sage, the guru of all things esports in our org. Like whenever there's a question about a tournament, a rule, a meta, anything, like that dude's my lifeline.
Nice.
So it's pretty awesome that we get to hang out here at this cool event. He's actually in the tournament as well. He's a competitor.
His back is to the camera right now.
Yeah, no, he's shy. He's shy. He's actually doing the work I should be doing. Honestly, he's keeping track of our CS:GO match. So we're locked in. Energy CS:GO is playing against Immortals right now.
Yeah, we
Really?
just had
Energy Smite isn't playing against a CSGO team?
What?
No, I mean, you said Energy CSGO as if there would be another team playing CSGO.
Wow.
That would be
No,
under
so-
the Energy brand.
Hey, well, I don't want to judge. Sometimes our Rocket League guys might want to play some CS:GO.
Who's the is
on the stage professionally, you know.
Immortals was
as
the
they
one
do.
with the new social media woman, right?
I don't know about new, but they have a social media woman who's really
okay.
good.
Yeah. We'll keep it at that.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to go into deeper with that. You know, we have a past, me and her.
No, you don't.
We don't, but we might.
They absolutely don't.
We might have a future.
You have a past. It's nothing. The past is actually nothing.
I think the show went pretty well without show notes here. I like
Yeah.
flying off the cuff.
No, it was good.
Yeah, no, we filled it
We
up.
didn't even get
Was
to
there
some.
a big Rocket League update, Andrew?
We didn't even
Don't
get
listen
to the
What is
For
it?
Honor thing.
I know.
For Honor director, we never intended for you to unlock everything. So then why make it?
So what they did is they're cosmetics, right? Is the idea. People
Okay.
are like really mad that you have to spend either way too much money or all this time to unlock all
I
of the
wanna play.
cosmetics.
Okay.
But the way he was talking about it is like you'll pick the guys that you play, and those are the ones you'll want to unlock, and you'll find the cosmetics you want and get those, and then you'll be done. You don't have to get all of it because you don't have none of it's like game changing. Right?
Understandable, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I mean, which it makes a sort of sense, but at the same time, it's like why not? I mean, since it is cosmetic and it doesn't change anything, why not make it easy to unlock then?
Yeah.
right.
But it's because of funding for long-term development. Because it's microtransactions, so that's how you
Right.
make money. Like, which I also understand. If you want long-term development, you do have to pay them.
Right.
But that seems like a really weird.
So why didn't they just make it DLC if they didn't want? I mean, everybody knows like that's the stuff that we want to get out. If you put it in the game off rip, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna rip it off.
Right. You gotta get it.
Yeah.
And so another thing is they kept talking about like they designed it like an MMO. It's like
What?
but your game isn't an like the
Yeah,
MMO
like,
of
it's
like
not.
like spending a lot of time and
Yeah.
grinding and unlock. And it's like where you'd pick your class of like I think he compared it to like World of Warcraft or something where it's like you're not gonna level every single class up to the maximum level.
You haven't met a World of Warcraft.
But at the same time, like that's also wrong.
Yeah.
Because I know people who've done that.
Exactly,
And they
right.
spend way too much time in it.
Right.
But they have a flat monthly fee that they're paying already. So honestly, they might be getting more out of the game than I ever have. The fact that they're playing it all that much.
Right.
But like his core tenet was we built it like an MMO where you'll pick your thing and that's what you'll do. It's like, but you don't have to do that in this game.
Right.
You'll unlock guys or whatever, I guess, but you don't. And they're cosmetic too. It's like I want my guy to look cool,
Right.
And I want every guy on my thing to look cool. So like,
Yeah.
it's not
changing gameplay.
No.
It's literally like you said, cosmetics.
it's
It's just how it
cosmetics.
looks.
So I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't
It's the same thing that was levied against Evolve when it came out, and they had like over $100 worth of like cosmetic DLC. And people are like, that's bullshit. You shouldn't have all that. And it's like, well, it's fucking cosmetics. Like, no, like you shouldn't care about cosmetics as much as you do.
But people do. Look at the CS:GO community.
I know it's ridiculous.
And that's the one that baffles me.
That one-
the most.
That one's actually supported directly through Valve, and a lot of the money that goes into that actually goes to the prize pool, though,
But I'm talking more
of like tournaments and stuff.
I'm talking more of
The trading community,
the
that
trading
built up.
community. Why do you value this?
Some are rare.
Red one.
So
over a
there's
blue
actually
one?
some that exist that can never be made again.
Can never be made again.
You'll never get that pattern ever again. Well, one of them was because I guess the artist that submitted it copied it directly from like DeviantArt, and they didn't give the credit to the right guy.
Not good.
And so they didn't get rid of it in the game because it already. I mean, it's there. People have it, and people,
Yeah.
whatever. So they just made it so it'll never show up again.
Okay.
And they can do like pro special ones for certain teams and stuff. So you can make your cosmetic like mean something though, you know?
Right, yeah.
And Dota 2 again by Valve does the same thing where like your TP thing can leave a little like team that you like symbol where you join in or leave or whatever. So I don't know.
Has anybody seen the Power Ranger movie yet?
Nope.
So no.
Is it out?
I wasn't
Soon
sure.
is the
no,
Twitch
tomorrow, right?
Is the Twitch marathon over yet? Because
Chef?
that's what they were doing, right? They were marathoning it before it came out.
Until it
Yeah, I
comes
thought
out.
it came out on the 24th.
I'm
believe
trying to
that.
see. Trying to see. Only because they have a video game out for it, on your mobile device, and it's actually been getting decent reviews.
No, it's because everyone's lowered their expectations.
Oh, okay. Oh, for mobile games.
Yeah, you're a mobile game and you're not literally the worst. Cool.
And then they had the original Power Rangers come out to the premiere and reunite.
How many of them?
4 out of the 6.
Who
I
didn't
guess.
make it?
Well, we know which one.
The one that passed away. Whoops.
That's terrible.
My bad.
No, the Pink Ranger didn't make it out. So it was all the guys.
Can't
all the
believe
guys. We got the red, black, blue, and green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black guy looks like he's the only one that hasn't aged.
I don't know about
Black
that.
don't
Green
crack?
did.
Oh no, the Pink Ranger made it out. She made it out.
okay.
Yeah.
So they all made it out.
Okay.
Amy Jo Johnson.
Amy Jo Johnson.
I
Yeah,
don't know if
yeah,
that's her
yeah.
daughter or girlfriend.
That's.
I think she's married, so I think that is her daughter.
Okay, so Francesca Christine, I guess is her.
I can't help you.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, it's her daughter.
I'm not stalking her
Her
on
daughter.
the computer like you are
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
Again, I can see the reflection in your glasses.
That's
sir.
good for you. Good for you, sir. But yeah, apparently it was brought to you by Krispy Kreme because it says Power Rangers and Krispy Kreme donuts all in their backsplash on the red carpet.
All right.
So, yeah,
Got to
but
fund it somehow, I
Yes,
guess.
but it's funny because you got Elizabeth Banks looking, hot in this dress, and then right behind her, Krispy Kreme
Krispy
donuts.
Kreme donuts. Yeah, like that's her diet.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's how she got that
Fat
body.
as sugar and sex.
Yeah.
This is what our fans like.
There's been an up on British actors too, because there's like 2 British actors in this new Power Rangers movie.
Word.
You got Get Out, main character is a British actor.
It's probably because they're better classically trained.
Wow, how dare you? You saying the thespians in America are less?
Yes.
Wow, okay. Didn't even let me finish that.
Apparently, I mean, shoot, Benedict Cumberbatch came and played a better American than Americans could in Doctor Strange. So.
I want to hear that because when I first heard his accent, I was like,
It was solid. That movie is
Yeah.
incredible. I mean, I just bought it again. Like I had already purchased it Blu-ray, and I bought it on iTunes. Just was like, man, damn, this movie's so good. So
Just
good.
needed another format.
Yep, that's all I need.
Sir Butch said they made green donuts for St. Patty's Day at.
And they were dope.
Yeah, they were dope. Apparently,
I don't want to see what the result
True the
of that
TARDIS,
looked
black
like.
guy missing a finger. Yeah, he is missing that finger. But he's always missed that finger.
How is even really?
Yeah, if you go back to the old episodes, he's always missing a finger,
Which finger?
the middle finger.
Really?
He flipped off the Green Ranger one time, and that was
it.
Not
Just bit it right
fun.
off.
Yeah, not gonna happen. June Tar says my 3-year-old discovered Power Rangers and has been watching it nonstop. Good on you. Starting
That's
from the
good.
beginning.
That's the
Starting
right
from the
thing.
beginning.
Absolutely. Tokusatsu.
Kamen
Raider.
I say that about child development. Like, I'm starting my kid on the NES. You're starting from.
Don't do that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sprinkle in old with the new. You can't just give them like
Nope.
you have to give them that bright future, but also let them know where they came from.
They need to know the struggle.
They need
That's
to
what they
know the
need to
struggle.
know. The
So,
struggle.
like-
no saving.
I mean, you could use it as a punishment, actually. Like, hey, if you're screwing up at school, like you got to play only the NES this weekend.
Yeah.
oh, if he's screwing up at school or she's screwing up at school, then it's all like Math Blaster and
That's a fun game.
and
though.
Oregon Trail.
That's not a fun game.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Got to shoot
Math
the squirrel.
Blaster's actually fun.
Math Blaster. It's been a minute.
Do Mavis Beacon teaches typing and do some of those games.
Davis.
Do Typing of the Dead.
Oh my God. Yeah, that'll definitely turn them off to video games. Typing of the Dead.
Do the
Actually-
one with the Shakespeare DLC. I'm not joking, by the way.
That's
That's a real
Shakespeare
thing.
DLC.
Yes. So what you do, you
Wow.
buy them, and then it has all the words you type are from Shakespeare.
Why is that
And
a
you have to
thing?
type them all in. Yeah.
That's true.
I own that game on the PC, Typing of the Dead Overkill.
House of the Dead actually is the first game that I've ever beaten in on the arcade. Wasn't
Word.
my money, by the way,
Word.
but
How much? If you had to estimate how much was spent on it,
15.
$15.
Yes.
Not bad.
What about if you what do you call it? You got to calculate for inflation, or like
How long ago was
Yeah,
that?
how long ago?
This was when I was 16, so that's 16 years.
Oh, that's
ago.
wow.
Okay,
That's like
okay.
forever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so
Mine
I
was
just
Michael
literally
Jackson
told you.
Moonwalker. That was
Really? In the
first one I
arcade?
beat. Oh yeah, out in Reno, and my grandma won all these nickels, so she just hooked me up with a whole like big
Nice.
gold cup of nickels, bro. I went in.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? I streamed Moonwalker like 2 months ago or something like that,
Uh-huh.
and it felt like I was playing Dark Souls. Hardest thing. Hardest thing ever. And so the chat room is just like, you got to jump there. You got to do this. And I'm like, I can't. I don't understand. Mike is not doing it. Mike just, and there's like a boss battle on like the 3rd level where it's just like, all right.
Got to
this
make him
is-
throw the hat, bro.
It was so irritating. And I thought I had it one time. I made all the zombies dance with me. And then all of a sudden one just comes out of nowhere and just touches me. And it's like,
was it,
that's
right?
it. Yeah. Do they even do that anymore in video games where the enemy touches you and you're injured? Or is it an
Super Mario
animation? Or is it an animation that they have to swing at you or something like that? There's no more. They just touched you accidentally. And you're,
Like Contra style.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's actually just probably a legacy of sprite-based whatever.
Sprite based, games.
that's crazy. Yeah, everything's hitbox now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I tried
Well,
to-
everything's a hitbox with an animation because they want to telegraph it so you can respond to it.
Right.
Yeah, Mike had no telegraphing or no responses.
No telegraphs.
He was out there. It was a weird game, but it was a precursor. You should have seen it coming.
I think
Saving little girls the whole time.
Absolutely. Fun fact: Michael Jackson is listed as an inventor because of the anti-gravity lean. Those shoes, he actually invented them. They have hooks in the bottom.
Oh, wow.
There's nails in the stage, and that's how they were able to lean forward and rock back. So if you look at his little thing, and there's a patent on it and everything.
Pretty
crazy.
That's brilliant.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep. Fun fact.
Mike Jackson.
I beat the Simpsons arcade game.
Ooh,
Hey.
really? I've never beat.
It was
that
me
yet.
and a friend. I did not do it solo. That'd
Yeah,
be-
you got
that'd
to
be crazy.
co-op it.
Word.
But that was probably $5 a piece, maybe.
Really? That's it?
y'all were
Well,
efficient.
we-
I know exactly.
No, that was
Right?
handling.
No, it had to have been more than that then. But we had done it multiple times. Like we had gone there multiple
Okay.
weekends and stuff. It was
Okay,
at a
gotcha.
mini golf place in Tahoe,
All right,
and
on.
his parents had like a condo up there or something. And
Yeah.
so we'd go. And one of the times we're like, all right, we're not going to play mini golf this time
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
it's all arcade
All
game.
arcade,
Let's
yeah.
go.
That's dope.
And then we were able to beat it.
Bush
That
in
was really
our
fun.
chat says the Ninja Turtle game arcade. Said he beat that one.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah,
That's
And
a tough one.
Turtles
Yeah,
game was dope. But any of the ones where you had like the 4 controllers and you had like the X-Men game and like all that.
Yep.
Like
Those
those
are
are
so
dope.
fun.
So-
A heck of fun.
I mean, if anybody's ever watched the show, you know that I'm all about co-op games. Like that's just my favorite. Right now, I'm having a stupid amount of fun with the Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's not the most graphically impressive game by far. The story is non-existent, if anything. But the fact that I can take 3 of my friends, we go online, and we can attack missions in multiple ways. Stealth, loud,
Yep.
stealth, loud, and it's.
Is that the one where you're going stealth and then you fuck up and now you gotta go loud? Stealth loud.
Yes, that's exactly what that is. But then it's fun, and I mean, I don't know. So to hear first of all that the Mass Effect, multiplayer.
He was saying it was good. I think him and his girlfriend were playing it a lot, and then it has the persistent leveling that you can do, and it's
that's a dream. I want to make a multiplayer co-op game, like something that not a
River City Ransom Underground came out recently on the PC.
River City Ransom, like the old school one, right?
Yeah, but it's a new remake of it, I guess.
Really?
It's very hard, and I did not realize that it would be that difficult.
Is it old? Did they keep the old engine or something like that?
No, I think it's. I mean, it looks the same, but I don't think it's the old engine. There's a lot of different combos and stuff you can do, and it's. I mean, it's cool, but they're actively working on it to make it better. And then I just bought a Monster Hunter clone on the PC called Tokiden.
Is it a
2?
Japanese thing?
Yeah, it's a Monster Hunter clone. Of course, it's a Japanese.
It could be.
thing.
It could be a Swedish thing. Maybe
Well,
they're also in the game.
They're working on. Was it? It wasn't Gigantic. That's not the name of that one. There's another one.
What happened to that?
Can't tell you.
I got into the beta.
Did you play it?
Yeah, I played the beta, and then stuff happened, and I stopped playing.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't hear anything from it anymore. It's just gone.
I know Penny Arcade did a comic about it a little while ago, but I don't think it's. I mean, it's one of those things. It's a MOBA, so
Paladin's just now hitting on consoles.
You gotta find that thing, and you gotta do that thing right. Otherwise, you won't make it.
Right.
That's sad, man. Because I really like the art style of that one, and it had the third person thing going for it, like Smite, sort of, but with more versatility. It seemed like there was levels you can jump
for
up
what now
for Gigantic.
Oh yeah. There was. That one was interesting, and it had some interesting characters in it, and it seemed really cool. But I played it a little bit, and then I should check if I need to uninstall it because I'm never gonna play it again.
You probably do right now. I was waiting for it on the console though. I wanted that controller feeling with it, but they kept it on the PC.
If you buy an XboxOne controller, you can just use a regular micro USB cable and plug it in, and it works right like that.
You can do it with the PS4.
You can do it with the PS4 too, then.
Yeah, I've been doing that with a couple of games on the PS4.
There you go. You win.
Curtis, will you be at the Indie Arcade? What was this? April? Corey, that's when the Indie Arcade is.
The SAC Indie Arcade.
Yeah. Cool, Corey.
I think so. I don't know. I have to check. I'm doing something real quick.
Oh yeah,
I'll check in a minute.
Have you ever been to the SAC Indie Arcade, Curtis?
No. Where's that at?
So West Sacramento puts on a. I'm trying to look it up right now. Sorry.
No worries.
So it's a place where they have a whole bunch of indie game developers come out and they showcase their stuff. Some are definitely still in development. Some are done. They're all stages kind of.
Right on.
But there's other little panels that go on. We spoke at the last one.
Nice.
And it's I don't know. It's a good place to see the underground stuff.
It's really cool to see the people making it and everything, and then. Well, I mean, I have not gone before, but there's a lot of recognition amongst people working on stuff. Kind of they care about it, like they want other people to do well.
A lot of sharing of ideas as well.
Sharing of ideas, yeah.
And that's awesome. And they have people not just. Excuse me. This says 15 days from now.
Oh snap.
So, yeah, it's a SAC Indie Arcade 2017, 15 days, 2 hours from now. There's a countdown on the website. You can go check it out. We're going to be there again. It's going to be the same location, the West Sacramento Community Center.
Okay.
Which is a beautiful building. Like that.
Yeah, it's in West Sac.
Yeah. Well, let's not go there.
It's in the good parts.
But our good friend Gabe, he was out here and he was showing off 2 of his games. And I don't know. I really love indie games because they get to do what they want to do. You get to really see somebody's imagination spill out onto, a game as much as they can do.
And with a clear goal, though.
Yes.
Because there was an article talking about how Doom, the latest one, was done. Basically, that's the pinnacle of indie game development, even though it's not indie. It had one idea, and it did that idea, and that's all it wanted to do. They threw in multiplayer, but everyone's like, this is like playing Halo, or Call of Duty. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But it achieved that one goal because they could think about it, singularly, just like, I want to do this, and we're going to develop for that. Absolutely. We're not going to add in this and that and these and those and all the things. We're not checking all the boxes that we have to do for a AAA title.
Yeah. No, just straight to the point. That's dope. It actually kind of reminds me of I did check out that indie game documentary that was on Netflix, and it kind of really did kind of open up my mind. Even me, like I'm kind of newer to coming back to video games. I took a big break for about 10 years. Oh, wow. And you're speaking about
longer than Destiny.
Longer than Destiny.
But as long as the PlayStation 3.
Right. Yeah,
that's a promise you can trust.
Which is funny because that's about where I dropped off at.
The PS3?
Yeah. Wow. Well, right before the PS3 is like where I felt like, well, I got married, had some kids.
There you go.
I was like, and something just hit in my mind where I was like I can't play games now. Like I have to be serious because like I'm about to be a dad.
Oh man.
And like it, and
You're
then like
making that not sound appealing anymore.
That's what I thought up in my mind. Like it doesn't have to be that way, but that's what I thought. And then I ended up getting divorced, and then I had all this free time. Like when I didn't have my kids, I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? And one day my daughter came home, and she was like, Dad, I want a 3DS, and I was like, I didn't even know what it was. Like I remembered like the little like the last Game Boy style thing that I saw was like the flip one. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And I kind of heard of the like the Vita, but I was like, what the heck is that? And she ended up getting one for Christmas, and I played with it. Like I literally tried to play video games, and I got anxiety because in the time that I was off, they got super like intricate. Oh yeah. And I would play, and I would literally have panic attacks. Like I couldn't even play them. And then it was Nintendo, and I was like, oh, I always loved Nintendo. So I played a little bit, and I was like, okay. And then like next paycheck, I went and I bought myself a 3DS, and I was like, I'll just take it back if I don't play it. And I played it. So I ended up selling that, and then I got a new 3DS. Of course, I got Smash, and I watched that documentary on Smash. I did play Smash a little bit in between that time. Let me take that back. I did play Smash a little bit, Melee and Brawl, but that's like when I really came back to it, and it was through my kids. The very things I stopped playing games for are the things that got me back in the games.
Bringing back in.
Yeah. What was this documentary that you saw on the Netflix?
On Netflix it was called. There was two, like, because there's a sequel, but I think it was just called Indie Game.
Was that the one where they talk about Super Meat Boy?
I think so.
And Fez?
I believe so. Okay. Like it was.
I think the first one.
Oh, Indie Game the movie. Yeah.
Indie Game the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That it's really good. If you haven't seen it, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Fez and the other one with the
Super Meat Boy.
No. Where you can go back in time.
Braid.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, it was the big three that came out, and people like it was selling like crazy.
Absolutely. And that like kind of opened up my eyes to what was it down there on K Street? Like there was like an indie like game company down there, and then they ended up like I saw them as one thing, and then when I went down there again, it was like EA Sports had like taken over.
EA's mobile is down there now, right?
EA's mobile.
I don't know what was there before.
It was something else.
What it was called, but yeah, it was a thing.
Yeah, because I was working at IKEA, and they came and they bought a bunch of furniture, and I was like, "Where's all this stuff going?"
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna jump off real quick and cover this Call of Duty, and I'm not Call of Duty, the CS:GO. Wow, that's how tired I am. And I'll try and jump back on if you guys are still going, if that's cool.
All right.
Cool, man.
Sure.
Good to talk to you, bro.
Have fun. Good luck.
Later, Corey.
He CS code.
Wow. CS went away.
Now I gotta get rid of his Skype thing. I don't know how to do that anymore. Oh, there you go.
The Skype things.
Yeah, there was another documentary that I was thinking of too that focused on indie games. Now I can't remember. It was gone when he so rudely interrupted. Thank you. But no, yeah, you got to check out the Sac Indie Arcade. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
You get to see, like I said, ground level stuff. We saw some VR stuff last year. Okay. That was pretty cool.
I've heard that's so hard to develop for.
I can't even imagine.
So it was pretty cool the way they set theirs up, though, because they spread out a line of chairs or a circle of chairs around people, so you can, because it was they had the Oculus, I think.
Okay.
And they got you with the controllers and everything in your hand, and they gave you kind of like 3 demos to do, so you got to see how everything works out with with the Oculus and everything like that.
Right on.
But I'm expecting some cool stuff. We got to see Armored Acorns. We had them on the show, and they showed their game to us, and they were on the Wii U, I want to say.
Okay.
Beat 'em up game, kind of like Castle Crashers, if you've ever played that one.
Like a side scroller beat 'em up?
Side scroller beat 'em up.
Oh, nice.
Color based, red, blue, purple.
Yeah.
Those are always
Gauntlet-esque.
Gauntlet-esque, yes, very much, and that was a fun one. But what we did last year was leading up to the event, we had an indie developer come onto the show their game off, and take some Q&A from the chat and everything like that. And
nice.
It went off very well,
That's
too.
awesome.
That's great.
We got to see some cool games, and I'm hoping we get to see. And the one thing I want to see is how well these new consoles embrace the indie developers, like especially the Switch, because the Switch to me lends itself to indie developers.
Well, it's not on any crazy special hardware.
Yep.
Right.
It's on literally what's in the NVIDIA Shield, I think. It's on one of the Tegra SoCs.
Okay.
Apparently, it's not even like a custom chip. So, like, you don't even have to do anything special.
Good.
And then both the PS4 and the Xbox One are on the same architecture,
Okay.
which makes it easy to do PC ports as well. So, like, there's a lot of opportunity for development without doing anything crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
It's not like the PS3 with the cell architecture where people are like, I don't know how. 8 processors. I don't want to deal with all that shit.
Yeah.
We got a question from chat. Mr. The Media Jack says, did you guys express your thoughts on E3 going public?
I don't think we did. Drunk in.
Well, see, I've been to E3 twice, and let me preference this by saying thank you for sending me to E3. I really appreciate that.
But you hate it.
See, here's the thing. Last E3 really was an eye opener. One, we go there, it's packed. If you've been to any convention, there's tons of people there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you're waiting in lines to play these games that are already playable at home. So
Not always.
Not always. It didn't used to be that way, but we're moving towards that where you can sit and watch. I used to wake up in the morning, I remember, and watch E3 and be like, look at that, here's, Grand Theft Auto 4 and stuff like that. Like, this is what we're going to show. And you couldn't play it.
Right.
They weren't giving you a demo that day and stuff like that. But whenever we were at E3 and they had a demo for Resident Evil out.
Oh, that's my game.
And we could not even get in line to play the game. And people at home was like, oh, this demo is pretty cool. And I'm like, we're at the source, basically. We're supposedly at the source of this.
Right.
And we can't play the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's... So I'm looking around at the options that I have. And you got a lot of options when you're at E3 to play different games. But the games that you want to play, there is no options for that. And so, say you were that lucky, person that got to the front of the line, and you're about to play this new video game and stuff like that. Then Conan O'Brien walks around the damn corner,
walks right past you.
No, not even right past you. He wants to play the same game you want to play.
Yeah.
His handler comes up to the line manager and says, "I got Conan O'Brien
Bam.
over here."
Yep, straight to the front. Yep.
And he cuts.
Yep.
Right.
Everybody.
We another guy that was on the show with us, Joey Ferris. He, I guess, was waiting in line for the Legend of Zelda because everybody wanted to play that, right? The Fine Brothers come up out of nowhere and shut the place down.
What?
Everybody's waiting in line. The Fine Brothers that do the React videos.
Yeah, they're that popular to where.
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
To get into this and be like, okay, hold on, guys, we're not, the Fine Brothers are here. So like,
I feel like I would riot.
so
Word.
I feel like I would fucking deck someone. Like,
Yeah.
me and Cory are waiting in line to play Dead Rising, the latest Dead Rising, right? Because it was like the end of the day.
low hanging fruit. I get
Yes.
it. I get it.
And we saw the line. We're like, boom, Dead
Yeah.
Rising.
No one else wants to play it either.
And they're giving away socks if you kill 1,000 zombies in the time limit.
Hey.
Okay.
all right.
And so I'm looking at the other guys play, and I see the strategy of how to kill. It's really simple stuff, right? And the guy in front of me, he actually didn't even get the 1,000. I was like, oh, you poor soul. Like, you poor soul.
You didn't even get
No
the
feet
socks.
blankets
Yeah.
for you.
I hit the 1,000 before the time. I had like 2 minutes left, and I was like, now I can just explore the whole world. So
Or get 2 pairs of socks.
yeah, exactly. So I'm playing the game, and I don't know. Cory will probably know who the guy is before I do. But it's a wrestler, a WWE wrestler.
Okay.
And his handler, and I remember his handler comes up in a little business suit and he's like, "I got WWE star so and so here. Who wants to, And so my line manager that I'm waiting in line for, I'm like 2 up, or I'm 1 up. And he's looking around like, oh, where am I going to put this guy in? Where am I going? There's 4 lines. He's like, where am I going to put this guy?
Yeah.
And I was like, he can have my spot if you give me them socks,
Hey.
But if not, then we wrestling. that's what I tell the dude. And the dude's like, no, I'll find a spot for him. I was like, all right, the deal is on the table. Like, I don't care. The dude didn't come out of the Resident Evil booth by the time I got my stuff, but I was like, that's how it's going to go down. I don't care what anybody says.
Ready to give out that rock bottom real quick. That people's elbow.
I've been there 4 days waiting in every line I could
Right.
to just get a glimpse at certain things.
Right.
And I'm not having this dude just come through and
comic book conventions are kind of starting to suffer from like a similar thing. Like even when I think the last big one that I was able to make it to, because it was freaking so busy editing all this stuff, was Wizard World.
Okay. Oh, here in Sacramento?
Yeah, here in Sac.
Okay.
And even here in Sac, like just well, first of all, they had merging the two together. They had a big gaming section.
That was fun to come back to because we came right back from E3 to that and to see a little bit of that. I was really excited.
Yeah, well, I'm sure for you guys it's refreshing because it's kind of some of exactly what you want, but none of the excessive lines from where you just came
exactly.
From. Yeah,
I felt like I ease in to back to Sacramento. We just came from that big hustle and bustle of LA, lots of video games everywhere. Mm-hmm. We come back. There's still a little bit of that in the middle of our convention, our hometown convention.
Sure.
Right.
It's like putting a little warm water into your cold freezing, swim or something.
Yeah, but no, just to get into panels and stuff like that, and especially like you talk about like the the San Diego Comic-Con and even the New York City Comic-Con, like people literally are waiting in lines to get into panels for these certain halls so they can see these glimpses. We're going to give you a little teaser or some test footage from, a Marvel movie X or DC movie Z.
Yeah.
And people are literally waiting like 4 hours just to try to get into these places.
Have you been to Comic-Con?
Yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con?
Oh, no, not the San Diego Comic-Con.
So I my first time ever last year as well.
Yeah.
Going there, and the line waiting is like next level there. So, what is it? Hall H. That's the
Hall
big
H
one.
is the main one. Yeah.
There's people. We're walking around at night. There's people on the lawn, front lawn, tents, like it's a
sleeping
shanty
out there.
town.
Uh-huh,
Yes,
yeah.
no lie. And it's all the way
Gypsies.
down. And I'm like, what are these people here for? And they're like, oh, this is line H. They're Hall H. We want to see if there's gonna be, and that's
what they do. They literally got the igloo, like little food sellers. They got their food, hot plates.
It's a commute. And the thing is, when you get into Hall H, they don't kick you out after the next panel. So you're there all day. So that's why they stay in these lines.
Yeah.
The only time they kick you out is when the day is over. So first day happens. If you get your seat in Hall H, you're there. You're good. You're not moving. And they roll. roll.
No, seriously.
They roll in the celebrity.
I'm not gonna do it.
No,
I wanted to, but no, I don't. That doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound enjoyable.
Exactly.
Because the thing that I like about our little Sac Anime Con and stuff like that is walking around to places and just being completely unhindered by that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, and then you just walk through, and then I'm done pretty quick because I'm not super invested. But at the same time, I didn't spend 4 hours in a fucking tent, waiting to get into a hall.
Some didn't even have tents. They were just on the grass, just
straight up.
Yeah. I've made a mistake.
and it's interesting to see because thank you to Janice Davis, out there for inviting me to actually speak at a Comic-Con, and that's an experience on its own. It's so hardcore too because we were scheduled for the last. That's it, right? But then we had a crowd still coming in, and I'm like, you guys are here to the tail end?
Oh, No, they get their money's worth. Well, expensive as it is to get into some of these things and stuff now, too. Yeah. I mean, not some of them cost an arm and a leg, but yeah, it's just,
it's still it's an investment.
Absolutely.
You're spending money on it.
Yeah, no, people save up all year just to make the trek.
So to circle it back around the media, Jack, to your question, I would advise that you you kind of do your research and know what you're getting into, because it's not the dreamland that I think everybody seems to think, like, I'm going to play all these video games.
Well, and you were saying like the local con was cooler because you got to see some local stuff.
Yeah.
Is it worth having a bunch of them around the country or something? You know, like multiple E3 locations, or
for the people it would be. I mean,
I'm
I think they're starting to catch on, and that's why we're starting to see more conventions, be it video game or, you know, especially comic book ones, like go mobile, because one, they're like, okay, well, there's people are coming to us, but only so many people. Like, yeah, we're charging up the butt, but what if we could like drop the price and go to them?
Sure.
Now we're getting more
more people and more money.
Yeah, and if it's a better experience for the people, then they're more likely to tell their friends the next time to come around instead of
then they'll go next year.
Yeah,
and next year.
Yeah, and if depending what their circuit is, what if they come back? You know, they hit you 2 times a year. Like, that's great. Instead of like, oh yeah, I spent 4 days in a freaking in a tent.
Oh yeah.
To try to get up in Hall H all day, and I ain't washed my butt for.
And I know they didn't. I know they did.
Oh no, they
the only thing out there was fountains, and then unless they dip it into the fountain or the bay, San Diego's bay. Yeah, like it was,
and that's
bad.
that's the thing, is one of the running jokes is how everyone smells so funky at cons, but it sounds like a necessity if you want to get what you want to get out of it.
Maybe
that's what it's.
I don't have time to shower. I walked to go see the panel.
I walked the show floor. I don't know. Maybe I'll probably say about 3 hours worth of time, and after I was done, I was just kind of like, okay, I've seen it. Like, it's literally Wizard World, which we've seen here. Just if you took like 10 of them and stacked them side by side, right? Because it's like long,
it's never ending.
So when I was with David Webb, he was like, well, you kind of just. When I walked in, it looked like Wizard World because it was like you could see like an end, and I was like, this isn't that big. And he's like, oh no, let's get to the main side, and then you go to the side, and it stretches just long.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of the exact same thing.
Right.
So you'll see like comic book vendor, shirt vendor, toy vendor, comic book vendor. Yeah, and like literally it loops.
Right.
And then maybe you'll get like a celebrity meet and greet, like in the middle. SpongeBob cast was there when we were there,
right?
And you'll see them, but you're not getting to them because everybody's already
already in the line to get to them. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a difficult thing to be like, I really want to go there. I really want to, even to say, oh, I want to take my kids there to go see some stuff.
Oh gosh,
because they're just getting
bumping into people, and that's the other thing too. It kind of like, it depends on what you're going there for. So for comic book vendor, shirt vendor, toy vendor, like for the collectors, that's good for them, because if they're missing that 1 or 2 pieces from whatever,
but the internet exists.
Yeah.
So I never saw. We went there. Yeah, actually with Webb, he was looking for the Spider-Verse comic books or whatever.
Yeah.
And we went to multiple vendors. Did not have them.
Hopped on Amazon, found it in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Not only did they not have them, a lot of them weren't even organized to even search for them. Yeah.
That's
because
the tough part.
It's not like it was alphabetical and we can just go to the S's or something like that. It was just.
And even if they set it up like that at the beginning, it's not going to last.
Only for so long. Yeah, people rummaging through stuff. I mean, that's what always happens.
Yeah, nature of the beast.
Yeah, but I think people still like the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah,
it's still very much a real thing. People actually going there, showing up, and then there's a community there. But I think as it's growing and as more and more people, and especially casual people, which casual fans, like that's what I tell people. Diehards will set you up, but casual fans pay the bills.
Yeah.
So you got to make it so casual fans can enjoy it too. They just need to learn how to balance it out, because otherwise the casual fans are going to be like, what the hell am I even coming here for? This
very much true.
Terror.
And I feel like I'm on that line of hardcore and casual, because I'll walk into a situation like that and be like, why? What
am I
here?
What am I?
But then someone will bring me back in there. But so at CrockerCon, I love the vibe there. Really love the vibe there. It wasn't really stuffy. It wasn't really like compact, and I got to see a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
And I for the first time actually purchased a comic book.
Nice.
Literally.
First time ever?
First time ever. I've had comic books purchased for me. I got Silver Surfer.
Okay.
But it was the hip hop variant cover.
Oh, the variant covers.
So it was
yeah,
the
those
Drake,
are so dope.
The
yeah.
Drake album cover. I was like, I want that one.
Heck
I
yeah.
have not read it yet. It's sitting in the plastic and kind of like just.
I
That's
mean,
good.
You can
Don't-
leave it like
Yeah,
that.
I'm about to
honestly.
say, don't even touch it. You're
because
good.
what I want, like, you know, for my room like this type
Yeah.
of deal is because I don't do the pops everywhere and stuff like that. I want the variant hip hop album covers for all the Marvel, you know, comic book covers.
Yeah, those things. I got a few of
Those
them.
are so
Those are super dope.
fucking
Actually,
cool.
they put out a hardcover book with all of the ones that they've done so far.
Really?
Up in there. Yeah, I just saw it at GameStop a few weeks ago. So I'm gonna cop it. And they had Ta-Nehisi Coates, who is the current writer of the Black Panther.
Panther, yeah.
He did the foreword in it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was like, oh,
Nice.
I gotta put it in my. That's my. I think it's like my second favorite comic right now.
Because I'm like, I feel, and I still got to read that one too. Yeah.
Oh, get on it! It's so good.
You know why?
So
Because
good.
I saw an article where they were like, they're taking some inspiration off of that for the movie.
Oh yeah, no, they're
I-
talking. There was
yeah.
a Q&A with Ta-Nehisi Coates, and they asked him, and he said, because he got to be a little mum.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not writing. No, I'm letting Ryan Coogler do his thing, but we are talking.
Yes,
we're talking
and
quite
that's
a bit.
a good thing.
That's really
Absolutely.
good.
Another fun fact: Ryan Coogler went to Sac State Film School before he went to USC because he is from Oakland. Another fun
Really?
fact. Oh yeah, I'm full of those.
And that was your fun fact from Curtis.
There we go.
Yeah, I can't wait for that to come out though, and I got to find them in poster form though, because I got to get them framed and you know put up in a man cave type of thing. When I get a man cave.
Yes.
So
It's coming. It's coming.
yeah, definitely. Is that that's a good leap off point there.
Yeah.
So then I got to do some editing, people, of this. So we're gonna call it a wrap tonight. Thank you for coming out and watching and staying for the after party.
The best party is the
we
after
will-
party.
That's right.
We'll be back this Saturday again with the weekend bang, and I'll be hosting that one too again.
Hey.
Hopefully Webb will be well enough and Corey will be in town. So we'll see you when we see you, people.
Yep.
All
Bye.
right, let's go off with the YouTube first.